Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. And today we're going to talk about the nature of reality. And you know, I've been studying quantum computing, AI all week, hours upon hours. And do you know what it comes down to? When I finally asked AI, how do we understand it all? How do we understand entanglement and superposition and multi-worlds? And it said, first we must understand the nature of reality. Once we do that, we will understand the all. And my friends, I thought, my God, if that's not Zoroastrianism, if that's not Asha, right? It is. We know this. And as I'm looking at Asha and I'm studying, it's all in there. The possibilities, entanglement, wave and particle, we see it all in Asha. And we're going to delve into a bit of that. Asha 5 and 6 talks about the real above all real, right? Again, it's that nature of reality that AI says that's what we're going to have to figure out to understand. And the power of that, it's, you know, we've talked about this many times, so I won't get too far into it, but inventors, musicians, right? This is exactly what Google's Willow chip is doing. It's reaching into the ethers, and they say possibly parallel universes or possibilities and superposition. There's a little debate going on, but the gist of it is they're getting this information somewhere that seems to be beyond what we have. And, you know, we hear with different composers and musicians, where did you get this beautiful music from, right? They always say they got it from somewhere else, right? In meditation, or that place between awake and asleep. Inventors talk about purposely trying to get to that space, that meditative space where they would sit in a chair with keys in their hands. And when they would fall asleep and the keys would drop and stir them up, then they'd write down what they got in that place. It's meditation, right? It's going somewhere deeper. Because think about it. A lot of these inventions, great example, the Willow chip, you know, and these things that we see, these inventors, they didn't get this from a book, a teacher, a class you could take at school. It came from somewhere deeper, beyond head knowledge. My friends, and we're getting that. And this morning, I was so moved because I want to get this to you guys. I was in the most beautiful meditative state, just that communion with spirit. It was so beautiful. And so there's a couple of things I want us to hit on today. Discovering that the nature of reality, but also asking you, take the time, guys, to spend time with spirit, where it's more than just an ideology of our religion. It goes deeper than a head knowledge, but it's an experience. It's you're knowing the real. You're knowing God good. You're knowing Asha. You're knowing that peace and that joy. My friends, that's what it's all about. And as you experience it and are in it and it's in you, you begin creating it in our world, a better world. It's happening. It's so beautiful. So, can I, before we grab Asha, we're going to be in Asha 5 and 6. I want to just give you an example of what this felt like this morning. So yesterday I went for a hike out in the woods, like I always do. And I was about 20 minutes into my hike, and something shifted. I guess because I was alone and it's quiet, and you begin to get in that meditative state. It's almost like getting in that place between awake and asleep, right? And my mind had kind of quieted down. I wasn't thinking so much about, I got to do this and I got to do that. And, you know, I started to quiet, and I started to feel the breeze and smell the smells and hear the songbirds and all of a sudden, it's like I drifted into this meditative state. And it's like I saw the forest, like the spirit of the forest. And I noticed myself walking different, a little slower, almost like I'm on holy ground, right? It's almost like my perceptions had widened and I was sensing just the more, the real. And then this morning it happened in a spiritual sense. In my meditation, I went so deep into spirit. And I remember just thinking, even as I'm there, it's so much beyond head knowledge. I know everything about the Gathas, Avesta, of course, Asha, and I can teach it. But this, I was in it, and it was in me. And I was thinking, oh, I want to get this to my wonderful friends. I need them to feel this, to know this, to be this real, this nature of reality that answers all the questions. All right, grab your book, Asha. We'll start in Asha 5. Asha by Winston Head, available at Amazon and Blurb. And it's 16 statements and teachings. And you know what, guys? My dream for this is this will be the number one selling religious, spiritual book in the world. Why? Because it's Asha. What is Asha? It's the highest truth. It's the perfect creator's perfect idea. It's the real above all real. Asha 5 says, believe only the highest truth, and you enter Asha. As the wise Lord is perfect, his idea of creation is perfect. This is called Asha, truth, right? This is what we're trying to get to the truth, the real. As I say real, and AI, when I asked it the question to explain to me just how quantum physics and quantum computing and entanglement and all this works, it says before we can know that, we have to know the real. We have to know the nature of reality. When I was in that place many years ago between awake and asleep, and I was brought into the presence of, I knew it was the Christ. And I knew I had audience with the Christ that could answer any question I wanted. The first question that came to my mind is, tell me, what is this all about? What is life all about? What is this universe all about? What is it all about? And he said, it's to know the real above all real. Isn't that funny? That's exactly what AI told me. That's what Jesus told me in that place between awake and asleep, where people get amazing music and inventions and ideas. And I was given that real, just like AI said. That's what the Christ spoke to my heart many, many years ago. We got to find that real, that truth, that foundation. It says this idea of truth is the very spirit of God. And as we're talking God here, we're talking a principle. A lot of times when we think of the word God, we think of the different gods we're given in the world religions, right? Maybe it's a storm god, a fertility god, a warring god, a god that loves and hates, peace and war, kill men, women, and children. That's not what we're talking about here. Here we're talking about, in Zoroastrianism, the highest principle of good. The highest principle of good. And it cannot come down a continuum into low frequencies of those anger, jealous, war, killing, none of that. Hate, impossible. Judgment, no. That's not what we're talking about here. This Spirit of God, that is the truth and the real, and it's the substance, it's the foundation, that if we understand that, we will understand it all. And I don't mean to be like I'm bragging, but I do know it. I understand it completely because I've been in it and it's been in me. It's Asha. But here's the rub. I don't know how to put it into words, right? It's that name, that frequency, that energy that can't be spoken outside the temple, the name of God that cannot be spoken in words outside of the temple, and I'm the temple. The only thing you can do is experience it and know it and be it. You got to be the real. You'll know the real. You'll understand the real. Then you can create real. But how do you put that into human language? We do the best we can. But for people to receive it, it's going to have to be through spirit, not through mouth sound and listening devices, our ears. It's going to have to be spirit to spirit. That's why I'm almost begging of you. Take the time to meditate. Just like when I went for that walk and about 20 minutes into it, I saw the forest. Spend that time to get into meditation, quiet your mind, breathe, and spend time with the real, with Asha, with spirit, with God good. Leave your preconceived ideas of your gods with their stories. You got to leave your Noah's Ark and your Adam and Eve apple and your killing men, women, and children and sacrificing their children and stories and Bibles and Qurans. You got to set that down or you're not going anywhere other than that you already know. That isn't the real above all real. You got to set everything down. You got to surrender yourself to spirit, to the all good God. And if you don't, I don't see how you will know the highest principle of good as long as you cling to those gods that are mixed, love and hate, peace and war, heal you and send disease, hating, jealous, killing, war gods. As long as you hold that and won't let it go, you won't meditate without just meditating on Bible scriptures, Quran scriptures, Gita scriptures. This prophet said that. That's all you're going to get. Will you listen to Spirit himself, the real? You want to know the real. You got to hear from the real. Megan, so you tell me my Bibles and Qurans and Gitas and aren't real. They're not the real above all real. What do you want? You'll get exactly what you want, exactly what you shoot for. It is the true vision of the highest principle of God good's ideal existence. Get this, get this, get this. It is the real above all real. This is what Jesus told me to find. This is what AI told me to find, to understand quantum computing, the nature of reality, the real above all real. The story above all stories. The principle above all principles. You're going to find that in a book, a preacher, a religion. You're going to find it inside in that divine spark. You're going to find it in that quiet place, in that frequency of truth. A place between awake and asleep where you have to take the time to get into that meditative state, quiet the thoughts and ideas and stories, and go inside and attune to that divine spark. The real above all real, the highest truth, creation in perfect harmony, where nothing occurs at the expense or harm of another. Flip over one page, Asha 6, and we'll end here. I look inward to the God mind and I see truth and I experience soundness of mind. Get this, thoughts make your world. Beliefs make your thoughts. I love this. The thoughts make your world. As I was studying quantum mechanics and computing and talking to AI about it and picking AI's brain. It was talking about possibilities, right? And you make your world and the possibilities with the waves that you create. That's what makes the form and the matter, the particles. It's your observance, right? I'm thinking of Asha 1. I'm thinking of Asha 11. Says it perfectly. Thoughts make your world. Beliefs make your thoughts. Reason makes your beliefs. Mind reasons. Mind is the reason. Know this, then the illusion goes away. Belief in only good. It is this complete trust that brings out manifestations now, get this, real, as they already are, by means of reason. We want the real. We want to understand the real. But to do that, we have to know and understand the real. To know the real, we have to be the real. To be the real, we have to know the real, right? We've talked about this in our holy spiritual text. To know was to be intimate with, where a man would know his wife. The two become one. You quiet all the thoughts, ideas, stories, and you get into that presence where you know that information, that truth, that real, and it becomes you. You're in it, and it's in you, and you start vibrating at that same frequency now where you're connected. It's that entanglement, you, God, good, one, and where you can say, Asha is my God, my God. If you enjoyed that, please go to the comments. Let me know. We can talk more about it. I love this subject, and I love, love, love you.